Women in general, we experience negative emotion more than men. And I actually learned about this concept from Dr. He speaks about the fact from the ages of 13 on that women experience negative emotion far more than men do, and that it continues for the rest of their life. And so men get perplexed by when they're talking to us about something and we take offense to it. But if you know this about yourself, that you have a proclivity towards negativity, and I'm not saying this is good or bad, it just is. I don't believe it's fair that you should expect your husband to walk on eggshells for fear that he's going to offend you. Knowing and accepting things as they are gives you control over it. Another way to effectively handle criticism or complaints is to realize that your shit stinks too. Michael would come to me with a complaint or a request for how to do something differently or something that I needed to work on, and I would just run this through what I call the validity filter. I would ask the question in my mind, is this true? And most of the time I'd be like, nah. I would think he's being sensitive or unreasonable, or I disagreed with the notion that he had. I had a serious case of my shit doesn't stink. And looking back on it, I find the level of my arrogance embarrassing. I can't believe until even a couple years ago I handled it like that. What did I do that allowed me to be receptive to hearing things that frankly were negative about myself? See, when I was trying to become a better wife, I had to go really extreme mentally, especially at the beginning. So what I decided to do was that I was going to assume that every single thing that he said to me about myself or about maybe this behavior that needs changed is true. Then I'm going to make the effort necessary to change that thing which he has asked me to do. Now, did I agree with everything he said? No, absolutely not. I still to this day, he'll tell me something and I'll be like, well, I don't think it's true. But whether I think something is true or not true changes nothing as to how I handle his concerns. Don't you agree that both people deserve the right to be heard? Don't you agree that both people deserve to be able to express themselves freely without fear of attack or condemnation? Don't you agree that his opinion and his happiness matters too? You see, we often forget that your husband and the marriage itself is the greatest tool that you have for personal growth on earth. So here I was over all these decades. I would go and watch these YouTube videos and I would read these personal development books and completely ignore the fact that I had the greatest tool for personal development with me the entire time. Why is he the greatest tool?